On today's show, we met up with the founders of Alphapod, and they share with us their story of intense bootstrapping and how they developed Wootfood, an application for the iOS platform. Episode 36, ConcreteJungle, is on next. Okay, thank you very much for being on the show. So today we're going to be talking about Alphapod, and we have. Before we begin, let's talk about where you guys started from. What about TJ? Let's begin with you first.
Where I come from? Well, my background has always been closely related with the web somehow. My first job was at a digital agency called XM, where I worked as a project executive. So I used to manage a lot of web-based projects, meaning website development stuff for clients. And then I joined a company, an IT company, which did software. I did product management there for quite a number of years. That's where I actually met them. So this was at Kinetics, this company called Kinetics. And then I went back into the digital agency world with Integrity, and that was my last stop as an employee. After that, I started Alphapod with these guys. Yeah.
So all this while you've been in design work?
Well, I wouldn't say design directly, but I've somehow been closely associated with creative work. My first job, I used to manage. When managing projects, I used to deal with the creative team. So that's when I was first exposed to what web designers actually do, Photoshop. But I actually picked up Photoshop myself back in college. It was a self-taught thing. So even back in college, I was in project groups. I was always the person to do the UI and the creative stuff. That was always my forte. So even right now, today, I oversee the creative part of my portfolio is to oversee the creative direction of.
So do you study design when you were?
No. I actually studied boring old business IT, but it was a toss between business IT and creative. So it was between an IT degree and a creative degree at one academy. But back then, parents had a large say in what I study. So my dad discouraged me, or really made me aware of all the with creative industry, the advertising industry, it's all about deadlines and stuff like that. And at that time, IT was hot, so it's like, okay, just study IT for that. But I've somehow managed to come back to get myself involved somehow in creative work.
So so you've always been a creative individual. You always wanted to be in the creative line, but you never really got into studying creative.
Yes.
So you did it on the side by yourself,
Yeah, correct. So not formally trained, but passion and interest has always been there.
Was it difficult to keep that passion alive? Considering the fact that you were studying something else completely.
No, not really, because creativity has always been a part of me, so that one will never die. But I'm actually grateful for studying
something different.
Yeah, something different, like a general degree, because then I can see things from different perspectives.
So it helped. It helped in terms of being a little bit more open-minded with your design work.
So I could apply creative disciplines to business, for example. And in retrospect, I think that was probably a better move. It gave me more options, because maybe if I had studied, to become a designer, I would have stayed a designer. So I have more options now, and no regrets.
Okay, so that's where you led to Alphapod. So before we come back to you, let's talk about you, Janice. Where do you come from?
Okay, so my first, I took a finance degree actually when I first started in uni. Actually, I signed up for software engineering. Then I read, after 1 week I know that's not for me. So in the end I had to go through all the deans and everything to release me from IT because I knew that wasn't for me. And I signed up for a course called financial engineering. Sounds cool, right? So basically a financial engineering course is supposed, the universal definition is actually to engineer financial products.
Okay.
Unfortunately, during that time, I think our Prime Minister was marketing, asking all the students to do double majors,
right.
And I think ended up financial engineering in my uni was defined as finance course plus a lot of IT.
Oh, so
IT
you got
so
you got yanked back in.
Yes, exactly. So but then so anyway, how did I decide? Was like, oh, sounds cool. Okay, let's go for it. So but it was crazy lah. It was even more hectic than an engineering course. So it's horrible. 8 subjects in like 4 months kind of thing. Yeah. So after that, I realized, I went through it, survival. So then after my uni, I actually took masters in finance to realign back. So I finished my masters during the time because I was a TM scholar. So I was offered to work with them. So I had to work with them for I think 2. I was supposed to be bonded lah, but long story short, I left after 2 years lah.
Okay.
So but that was very good exposure lah. I actually I was recruited as a salesperson, but I kind of changed my role every 6 months because because I was doing my masters, so my AGM was quite impressed, so they actually asked me to do the business plan for the state of KL. So that's where I got exposed to my GM. So in the end, my GM asked me to become his business support manager. So yeah, so in the end, I did 6 months of sales and I ended up doing business support, basically helping my GM manage the whole state. Yeah, so that was very good exposure, though I had to work like a dog, but it was good exposure lah.
Well, how is that like being a finance major to branch into sales? Because I mean, in my experience, sales and finance rarely mix.
Yes, but
in fact, we always fight.
Yes.
I want more money. No, bring me more sales.
But for me, during that time, okay, so basically I did masters for 9 months. My master's course was 1 year and 9 months. So and it was I wanted to do it full time to finish it in 1 year, but it was I did it in Malaysian Institute of Management, so it was like my degree is from RMIT, so they kind of fly in lecturers and stuff like that. So it was part time, so it's like forced part time. So then after 9 months, Telecom asked me to join them, so I joined them. So was the second 1 year was the year that I was working and doing my masters.
Yeah, that's tough.
Very crazy, it's almost suicidal. But it's good lah. I mean, it really toughened you up lah.
Yeah.
Survival skills. So after that, when I did sales, I mean when I joined TM, it was kind of like it's okay lah, because anyway I had time, because my classes was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I had like the whole week, so I was like, why not? And to me, because you're young, right? So the more you're exposed to anything, you just grab it and you just learn lah. Because knowledge is always beneficial. You know, whatever you throw yourself into, it's up to you to make use of it. Yeah, I studied finance and like But for me, I feel that if I do sales, then I know how the sales team works. And then then when I did business support, I had to like manage technicians and credit control and the sales team and everything lah. So it kind of helps me understand what the ground people are feeling, that kind of thing. Yeah, so I thought that was it was to me I don't think I'm good at sales, but okay lah.
You were curious enough. There was enough curiosity in you.
Actually, I wasn't curious.
No.
But I kind of threw myself in. Actually, I don't like to do sales. I never liked it, but I thought that I have to just bang more lah, don't watch out lah. So I went in and do sales lah, and I actually met my target lah. So in 6 months.
Right.
So that was quite cool lah. But that time I didn't want. If let's say I had to continue doing sales, I don't think I will stay in DM that long. So thankfully I was moved to others positions lah. So after that I finished my masters where I was in telecom, and then after 2 years I left lah. So I joined the company that we all met in, which is the IT company, and there I was offered it's to sum it up, it's like internal consultant lah. So doing business improvement. So my scope was basically report to my CEO. No scope. You find dirt and you clean it up. So
clean up crew.
Yeah, that's the shorter version of it lah. What I do. So that's how I actually met all these guys even closer lah. And then so after I think I was there for 3 years. I think 3 years. So in my first year he left, and then the second year he left, then the third year I left. So during the second year, maybe you want to go to Clayton to tell his background first before we tell you what happened.
Okay, Clayton.
Yeah, I've always been involved in tech ever since young and whatnot. So naturally, when I finished high school, actually even high school itself, during my year, they had comm science compared to pure science streams. Right, so we had all the subjects as pure science except biology, which was replaced by IT. We were the first year to be experimented to guinea pigs in front of computers.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is, which school was this?
This was in Penang, long time ago. And it started off there, and I mean, before that I was really introduced to computers all by itself already.
Right.
So naturally, it started, okay,
how were you introduced to computers? Dad?
No, my brother.
My brother?
Yeah, the brother is actually 8 years older than me.
Right.
The gap is very wide. So he actually did a course on I think, can't remember, something about computer, but I have no idea what it is. So my first introduction to computers was already at, I think about stand 6 or Form 1. That about we had our first 386 with those big floppy drives. And
oh yes.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. And he had some basic book on the tables and stuff like that. So I would just flip through. I had nothing to do. I live in a very, very small town, and there's really nothing else to do. Unless you go out or you stay home and you bum around.
Right.
So naturally, then during Form 4 and 5, we went to Conf. The reason why a lot of us went there also is because none of us could get it into pure science. We weren't smart enough to get into pure science. So it's either so you're not smart to get into pure science, so you have two choices. You can go to comm science, the second graded pure science, or you could go into commerce. So at that time it was based on that hierarchy, whether how smart you are, then they would just auto-allocate you. That's pretty stupid. And yeah, and after that, then I did college. I did high school, done, and I went to Taha College, I think, to do comm science. Yeah, something about comm science. It's comm something, right? Did 2 years there, then after that 2 years in KL. And funny thing, when I came down to KL, I realized that there was a very good opportunity to do assignments for people.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Chang, chang, chang.
So what I found out was that a lot of our assignments that we do in the college I studied in KL, it was good enough. It gave you a good enough basis and background to actually do assignments for other colleges around Sunway areas. And those people would pay. Those people would really pay. Yeah. At that time, I think it was about what, 300 to 400 ringgit for database diagram And I was really, really surprised. I didn't know first. I didn't know until someone told me that you could actually do this, and because you only need to create one assignment.
Right.
And you just keep on doing it. Final projects at that time was going for about 1,000 plus.
Wow.
Where if you already have a basis, it's very easy to be duplicated. So it actually helped me survive a lot in KL. It helped me survive a lot in KL. And after that, after college, then I joined in this IT company. It was actually my first job. I went in there as a software developer, doing mainly Java for a solution, and started tinkering around and moving about. After probably about 1.5 years, I did pre-sales for this solution that we were building on for so long. Right? And this pre-sales was a very specific set solution where at that time there was not more than 10 companies in the whole world that did it, and we were the only Asian country to do it.
Which one was this?
It's a very, very niche solution.
What does it do?
It manages domain names. It manages domain names and it provisions. So who are our clients? Our clients are actually universities and governments. The company sold the solution to Singapore, the company sold the solution to Hong Kong. Actually, both of them are using Malaysian-based solution, but not Malaysia. That's another story. Trust me, it was good enough for the Singaporeans to accept it and to actually use it. It was good enough for Hong Kong to actually accept it and use it. And both of this, they had a lot of traffic, a lot of numbers. This was the backbone of every single country's domain name.
So story short, why didn't we use it?
Seriously?
Yeah. Let's concise it down.
So we don't know.
It's alright. How can I put it? Sometimes it is very, very true in the business world. It is who you know rather than what you know.
Yes.
And it's also very, very true to who you're sleeping with as well.
Sure.
So I don't know at that time when this company didn't want to use our solution. I didn't know the full circle. I was only in pre-sales.
Right.
I was only in pre-sales. So my vision was very limited. We just crap, we didn't get the project. So it's fine. After doing pre-sales for probably about less than a year, then I moved on to do business development. So right now, instead of doing what I've been doing in pre-sales, I got another task involved as well. And we were actually commissioned together with the CEO and a few key staff to actually travel to various points of the world to attend this conference called ICANN. Now ICANN is a body that regulates domain names, GTLDs and CCTLDs, top level domain names. And every quarter they would have a meeting in one part of the continent of the world. So this time it could be in Asia, the next time it could be in South Africa, the next time it could be in South America. And every quarter it was just basically that. It was the next conference, it was the next conference, it was the next conference. And I spent almost a year doing that. And
AKA flying around.
The furthest I've been is to Colombia, Bogota. I would never ever imagine that I could have stepped foot there. I really never imagined. And this was, most of the time the team was very, very small. It was just either me or the CEO and probably the head of IT. It's just only 3 of us. And we will go around. We will go around for every conference because we wanted to sell our solutions to whoever that was going to stand for the GTLD. You could actually register your own domain right now, own extension right now if you want to, previously. But I think that right now they're very close to it. So there was a lot of policy making, there was a lot of rubbing shoulders with the right people, making sure, lobbying right enough. And it came down to a point where after I got tired. I got really tired, right? Because it's every quarter. Before you go, it's a 1.5 months full on. You gotta make sure operations. You gotta get the sponsors there. You gotta get your materials all done. You gotta get. This is someone from tech. Appointments, sales, getting all the meeting all the right people.
And you have me breathing down his neck.
Stalking people, finding out who reports to who, and that time Facebook wasn't really that hot yet. There were people using it, so we had to use a lot of other means. I would wouldn't say trick people, but asked in the right way to get certain information from some people. Because in our line, we cannot meet with the lower level ranks. They will never make the decisions.
Sure.
It's the higher level ranks, the government officials itself.
You bring that decision down.
Correct. So, yeah, imagine you gotta find someone from Morocco, the government official in Morocco, like, where the hell do we start? And you start, and it was really, really nice because it opened a lot, it gave me so much exposure that I never thought that I would have. And yeah, it was really fun. But after a while, I got really, really tired. And she noticed it. And I actually,
she's a clean-up crew.
Exactly.
And she was trying to clean you up.
No.
Here's a shaver and everything. Go take a shower.
Yeah, funny story. How I got this role was pre-sales. I actually wanted to leave.
Sorry?
Before I got my biz dev role in this company, doing this.
AKA flying around.
AKA flying around. And I actually wanted to leave at pre-sales level because one day I saw an interview on the newspaper. It's a walk-in interview to an international bank. I was just thinking to myself, okay, let's go see how much I'm worth. I went in, interview, they liked me, and
asked when you're gonna leave.
it was on a Saturday. So normally you go for this interview, you pass through the first level, it's the reporting experience.
Yeah.
So after that, then he said, fine, let's meet the guy on top. Let's meet the guy on top, talk to him. Everything went well as well. On Monday morning, they recalled. Then they offered to double up my pay immediately. And when I can start.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like.
Ooh.
Yeah,
how
exactly.
nice, man.
How nice, exactly. It was a big dilemma because joining this company would meant that as long as I stayed there, I would have never worried.
Yeah.
Things was
You're
good.
set, man.
Yeah, things are set there, and you could go places, a lot of places. And somehow she found out. Somehow she found out. I don't know how she found out, and she came with a counter offer that she made for me to do biz dev.
Okay.
And yeah, so did that. After doing that for 1 year, then that feeling came back again. It's not what I want to do, and it was so mundane. Trust me, man, doing RFP after RFP after RFP, making RFP for people so we can win, and there's a lot of things that we got to do. And it came to a point where I realized that I wasn't really happy anymore, and I wanted to move on. That's when
I think 6. It was like 3. But before he like really got like fed up, right? I think it was few months before that.
Yeah.
He actually in the showering, and then suddenly he realized, oh, let's do a food finder.
You did not slip, fall, and then realize, let's build a flux capacitor. I wish.
Emmet Brown. No, but that's another question. So I'm going to.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about
the
Alphapod.
Alphapod.
Right. So before Alphapod was formally set up,
the idea.
Well, it started with the 3 of us. So at that point in time, the 3 of us were really close already. We were good friends, so we met at the company, and then we parted ways, but we always kept in touch.
Sure.
So while I was working with Integrity, which was my last job, well, I mean, I had a lot of time to think because when we were commuting, I was driving back to work, and so the story is, I used to pass by the SS2 LDP lah.
Yes.
There's a bomba. And
yes.
Beside the bomba is quite a famous Ramly burger stall, and the thought which always came to my mind was, how do people know about this place? It's not a very fancy place. I mean, the service it's like that. You get what you pay for. You don't get table service, and it's not like entirely clean, but the food is awesome. So and at that time, I think the only way people could find out about good food was through blogs, and it was and food blogs were trying to pick up, and they're still going on today, and I think they're doing a fantastic job. But at that time, I think mobile penetration was also very low. Smartphone penetration, sorry. I think the iPhone was just launched probably in about a year. And I didn't put the two and two together, so I thought, okay, hey, let's build a website that would tell people about how to discover good food, but not in long format like blog posts, but really short. So maybe picture of the food location, so at the time it's all about Google Maps, where this place is, and give it a rating.
Short comments.
Yeah, short comments and ratings and stuff like that. So we shared the idea together, and when we all came to the agreement that it was, hey, we have something here, right? And so we started
kind of writing the business plan. Oh no, and at that time, I was a champion looking for government funds for the previous.
For the company.
I was exposed to a lot. I found out a lot of information. So at that time, MDEC was offering the Technopreneur Fund or something. Pre-seed fund, yeah. So what happened is, so I was like, hey, let's try this. But at that time, I think we were kind of set, oh, let's do this no matter what. So we three heroes don't have life already. At that time, work. Come all meet in my house. Work. Every day.
Yeah. And we had our
night job
project.
Yeah. So it's like, it's crazy, okay? So we didn't have any life that time, except working lah. And then at that time, the MDEC front thing came about, and then of course we had to prepare the business planning and stuff like that. So we had to prepare that, and then so delegate, compile. Halfway doing that, then we realized, like tak betul like that, a bit, something is wrong lah, something is wrong. And
but
then
you know what?
I think after that we kind of pulled the mobile. Yeah, after that.
So there was a disconnect.
Yeah.
So there was a disconnect because we started building what we had originally planned, the website.
Yeah.
But then we realized that, when people are looking for food or when they're hungry, they're not going to launch a website, or how they're not going to rush to the nearest cyber cafe and come to the website.
Yeah.
And this was the early days of smartphones, because we're talking about the second year of iPhone. I think it was probably 3GS, the 3G or 3GS era, right?
Yeah.
And that was like probably maybe year one of iOS.
Yes.
App development. So was it easy for you to just pick something that's completely so new?
So that's from what you mentioned, there's actually more story to it.
Right.
So basically what happened is we pull handbrake, we realized that doesn't work as a website. So we kind of redid our business plan and we pitched it to MDEC as a mobile app. Yeah. So I think if I'm not wrong, we are one of the first one who actually pitched an app idea to. So at the same time, this hero here is very good at looking for resources and where all the lobang and everything. So he actually found out, can I call it a program or what?
So what happened was, we've actually found a platform for you to actually churn out both. I mean, you could use HTML.
Yeah.
You can make it an app. You can use JavaScript and then just make it an app. Alright, so it's a hybrid, and it's a cross-platform tool, which was like God sent.
Yeah.
Because I didn't need to learn anything else.
Yeah.
I already knew what was needed already, and we started out doing it, and it was crap.
So what happened is and I didn't know about this. So what happened is these two heroes nicely. So after I got the fund, as in approved, and we got it. The moment we got it, this fella, both of us was high-fiving in office. He obviously left lah. So the both of us in the office. Then we were like, yeah, celebrating, and then after that, everyone's like, huh? And then the next week, I think he threw letter already.
Yeah.
He resigned already.
Immediately after that, we got confirmation that we got the fund.
Yeah.
Then
You true.
What was in your mind when you sent out that when you were writing out that letter? Were you convinced that this is it, this is the ticket, or do you foresee, or was it like
I was always looking for
a way out?
A way out. I was always looking what to do next.
Right.
It's just that I wasn't very sure of what's next. I mean, having a scene. Funny thing is, I think about 6 months before I left, I actually told the head of IT, as calling someone, I actually told him, hey, you should actually consider mobile development.
Mr. Lee.
It's the next big thing.
Yeah.
Please consider, do something about it.
Yeah.
They just rub it off. So I'm like, fine, what else? Because one thing I noticed a lot of Malaysian companies is the amount of innovation goes down the drain a lot.
The complacency is very high.
Yeah, complacency is very high.
They're very not contented. They are very scared of change.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's basically it.
Coming out of their comfort zone and everything.
Yes. It's
and
not easy.
learning from scratch and everything, and that's where this hero made it happen for us.
So when I knew that was already given for already, and it was the next big thing. I knew mobile would be big already, and it was a boat that I didn't want to miss. I had to take it regardless of what. And yeah, it was like freedom now.
Yeah. Not really. The first 6 months was freedom because I was off their backs because I was still stuck at work. So these two nicely honeymoon.
We had a short honeymoon.
Yeah, honeymoon gila. Okay, but anyway, the first 6 months, okay. So he actually started groundwork before we actually got the MDAC thing. But when we noticed that there is, but we still thought that the website was very relevant. So he continued finishing the website and stuff. And then after that, when we got the funds and everything, so 6 months down the road, then we like, so this guy suddenly, because we came up with feature lists and everything, then we bang a wall. We couldn't do something. So finally they came and tell me lah, because I was saying, wait, prototype. Then they said, actually, we bang a wall. So I said, what wall is that? So in short, layman terms again, is that tool that he found, the platform that he found, could not do, it could do some features, but it couldn't do everything, and was very limited to what it could do. What we could do is only send support email and say, please help us solve this.
Just to bring some context into that, we already had the website already, the API was all there, and the app was all ready. It couldn't do one thing left. To properly take a photo and upload, because at that time they had an SDK problem for the platform. The whole app was ready, we were ready to launch everything, and then we found out that because of this bug, each time you take a photo, it would crash.
Wow.
Yes.
Exactly. Wow.
So my two dear darlings had to come to me and tell me. So I was like, so I said, hey, cannot lah, because I always believe your core business, your core, you have to be in your pocket. You cannot depend on someone. So basically that's the moral of the story. And our dear Clayton went back to school to learn his ABCs in Xcode. Ta-da! Which he did a fantastic job lah. Yeah. So he managed to learn it from scratch. And that time lagi don't have any reference. So that was fantastic lah. So I think we had a great partner.
So within a year after that, then we finally launched Wootfood in December.
No, 2011 January.
Yeah, early 2011.
Yeah, early 2011.
Early January.
Yeah, and that's when I think you heard them speak. Right after that, a few months after that. Like within 6 months.
I heard you guys speak on a webcam.
Yeah.
About Wootfood, the introduction of Wootfood.
Yeah.
Right. So, coming back to when you guys threw in your resignation letter, did it even occur to you that it is like zero paycheck every month to month until you get a product out? What is that like?
We were actually very
Okay, so
blessed.
Or Maggie mee every day.
No, so what happened is in 2009 November, both of us started NinjaJo.
Okay.
So it did pretty okay lah, pretty well, especially in 2010.
NinjaJo as in the restaurant for
pork
burgers.
Yeah. So we just launched it. We just opened, and it was doing quite relatively well lah, I think. Being the first one, and we had a lot of buzz and stuff like that. So during that time, then during that time when we first started, we needed so it's both of us. We needed someone to kind of take the plunge because to do full time, because you can't run a business from outside. You have to be hands on. So he was the counter man. Yeah. So he left his job first. At that time, we had to choose one of us, and because he was also involved, because my part is more of done already, mine is just before and after, theirs was development, he's in UI and he's in tech. So what happened is, it was more realistic for him to leave because he could like run Ninja Joe and focus on Alphapod. Because we felt that doing working full time and working at night, that kind of thing, it was actually very hard.
You can do it only for a very short stint.
Yes,
After that,
exactly.
you get some.
Then you realize that your graph, right, is like your productivity just stagnates. Yeah. So in the end we had to make that decision. So that's why with Ninja Joe around, of course, we were very blessed. I feel. So he left first, and I was still at work. So referring to your question about zero paycheck and everything, that actually helped because we know that one is ongoing, and one go and 賭錢啦 go and
gamble
you know. So so he left, and I was stuck at work for I think another 2 years. And then hey, you have to bring back the bacon, no. But so after once we got the confirmation of the MDEC, then he left. Then he threw the what, because it's more focused lah.
Yes.
So both of them were full time, and I was still at work for 1 year lah.
So they were fortunate that during when we did Wootfood, they came up with Ninja Joe and all. Very, very fortunate. And at that time, I realized that probably at the end of the year, if this doesn't go well, I'm really screwed.
Yeah, okay.
And to me, I'm the type of person that I want to live the moment and I want to go ahead.
Sure.
So they were doing Ninja Joe, fine. And I chanced an opportunity to actually sell cars.
Luxury cars.
Luxury cars.
His second passion.
Okay.
And I've always loved cars, and I found this place that they're pretty big. They're very big, and I got my foot in, and the next thing I knew, I was selling Audis, I was selling Benzes, and this was just because I love cars as well. Plus back the fact that I needed cash, cold hard cash. Because I knew at that time I had myself to stand alone already. Because they had Ninja Joe. No matter what, Ninja Joe will always be there for them to back them up.
They have a foundation.
They have a foundation.
But still, as a business can go up and down. So
yes, it's true.
So we still have the fear lah.
Yeah.
But so the MDEC grant actually. So we actually got the MDEC grant, but unfortunately, it had to take like 9 months before the money was released. And so what happened is we hardcore bootstrap during that time. We had to use our savings first because we knew the money was going to come, but it's just not
when.
So we had to use our savings to survive So we actually used our savings for the first few months before the first disbursement was out, and then we had to live like this and be very thrifty with it because it's not cheap. The thing is, you got to buy devices to test, and you never know. And these devices are not cheap that time. And he had to buy a Mac. Cannot develop apps. So it was a real challenge and we had to spend money, and we were very thrifty One thing, we were very, very thrifty. Our allowance also is pathetic. It's cukup makan only. So our lifestyle from here change. And we though Ninja Joe was for Clayton, so though we had so-called secondary income, but that's still a business. It's not guaranteed. It goes up and down, up and down. It's very volatile. So we didn't really depend on Ninja Joe. Of course, it gave us some comfort, but still, it was this business. And because we came in to build Alphapod as a business together, so even though we have all that side thing, it's just to save to fund our personal, and we had to focus on this So what happened is, so the MDEC grant actually, the positives was that it really gave us 1 year to survive, to focus and build the app and which we did So it actually took almost exactly 1 year plus
less than a year.
And plus our handbrake and go back to the drawing board kind of
So
nonsense.
there's two revision
Yeah.
pivots.
Yeah.
Two revisions of the app, and we didn't. And we managed
And
to
his
score it.
school time in next code. Yeah. So it kind of took 1 year. But it was all good lah. In retrospect, I think it's all good lah. We really learned. So one of the key things that we learned is that for example, a lot of people actually can build apps now. A lot, I think. I mean, it's climbing lah. Okay.
Yeah.
But the major difference is that is kind of the shit that we go through lah. We actually developed the first version that we came out with. There was a lot of performance issues because you have to take a picture, upload it, and so we actually learned the hard way. So we learned how to optimize it and so that the app is very smooth. We also realized that if your app takes like more than probably 1 minute to wait for it to load and everything, gone 30 seconds, people uninstall.
The interest is off.
Yeah, exactly. So these are all the things that we brought to we learned through our dramas in life, in the journey. And then that's why now when we build any app, these are all the angles that we already covered. So usually our apps are all, people don't need, it's definitely a working well app lah. Yeah, so that's why I think we benefited, even though we had to like waste quite a lot of time going back and forth lah. Yeah, so that's the major thing.
Hi, I'm Patrick, and thanks for watching Concrete Jungle. If this is the first time you're watching the show, welcome. Concrete Jungle is a podcast about entrepreneurial spirit. We met up with a lot of very interesting individuals to talk about their business or to talk about their thought-provoking project, how they brought that vision from zero to hero. Concrete Jungle is a passion project that is supported by Green Room 136. At Green Room 136, we design and handmade some really crazy, wicked urban bags. These are all made in Malaysia, and if you like bags, go on to greenroom136.com and really check it out. Now, if you like Concrete Jungle and you feel that the show brings you benefit, here are a few things that you can do to support us and help us to grow. First thing you can do is like us on facebook.com/ConcreteJungleShow and leave us a comment. Let us know whether you like the show, or if you feel that some shows are beneficial, share that with the rest of the Facebook fans. Then subscribe to us on youtube.com/ConcreteJungleShow. Leave us a comment, give us a review, or just say hi. The other thing you can do is go to greenroom136.com and check out our life's work. Who knows, you might see something that you like, and if you do decide to buy something for yourself, feel free to use the coupon code ConcreteJungleShow. For Concrete Jungle fans, you get 10% off your purchase. How cool is that? If you want to listen to the audio version of the show, subscribe to us on iTunes. Go to bit.ly/ConcreteJungleShow. Now, once you're there, send us a review, write us a review, subscribe to the show, give us a rating. Now, iTunes works in a specific way. If you give us a good rating, if you give us a good review, it will bump the entire show up the charts. So who knows? We could be top 3 best podcasts in the whole of Malaysia. Fingers crossed. Now, so final. Share it with all your friends. And if you feel that if you come across a friend, and this is what I come across most of the time, and this is one of the reasons why I continue to do this show. If you come across a friend who wants to start up a business or start up a project, but they didn't know where to start, they didn't know how to begin. So when I point them to a specific show that is relevant to them, they will thrill, and they get even more inspired. And we do get some people who ended up starting a project. So yeah, share it to as many people as you can. Right? So thank you very much for listening to me babble. And here's to more babbling. Let's continue with the show. So was it difficult to get the app accepted by consumers, by users? Consider the fact that at that time it was very early days of Malaysian app development. At that time, I think there were very minute, very minuscule amount of apps, Malaysian-based apps.
Yeah.
Was it difficult to get that into everyone's iPhone?
Well, short answer was it wasn't hard to sell the idea to users because Malaysians food put it together.
Yeah.
It made sense. And also at the time, the telcos were pushing.
Yeah, Maxis was really pushing for it.
Yeah. So we actually got a big break where we were also fortunate in the sense that Maxis actually featured our app in the newsletter. So every once in a while they had an email sent to all their smartphone users, I think, and with a featured app. And Wootfood was one of them. So we had our downloads suddenly spike
because of that.
And we were fortunate because of that. We went into the top charts because of that.
But the short answer is definitely very hard to market lah, because we didn't have. I mean, the amount of funds we had from MTech was only enough to build the thing at such early stage.
How to organically.
So when it reached marketing, we actually had to do it our own. So we kind of like have to speak in webcam, and I mean the $0 kind of marketing. We actually preached in what's that, E27.
So Echelon, the Echelon series of events. So the budgets, the grant that we got was spent on development. So we had nothing left for marketing, and we actually had no experience marketing an app as well. So a lot of the growth with Wootfood has been organic.
Right.
Up to today.
So when was it that you started to realize it's time to monetize the app?
Actually, we kind of did it because we just when we actually launched it, then of course word of mouth and stuff like that. And the only thing that we actually used, I mean, we had like a bit of money left, was to go to Echelon in Singapore, where that was like the event.
Oh yes.
Which it concerns apps like there was none during that time. So we actually stayed in a budget hotel, dorm, 3 hours staying in the same place. So we had to stinge all the way. But we only managed to get there. We made a few connections, but then it wasn't, because a relationship and connections all you got to build, not touch and so that didn't really benefit us. It was quite hard. But then we came back, and then we actually, because of Wootfood, we also had quite an exposure with the public lah. So we actually got our first project.
At iProperty. So
iProperty,
after we launched in January, by April, and we knew, I think deep down, all three of us really knew that without any marketing, without pushing it, but it's doomed to fail really. It's really doomed to fail. And we knew that, and there were, before iProperty came to us, there were other people that actually knocked on our doors and asked us, and we actually said no because we wanted to continue to build Wootfood, and we wanted to push it through. But once we deep down itself, it's like living a lie. You know that it's not going to be big anymore, and you know that it passed your moment of fame, and it's going to die unless you start really throwing money in, and unless you get a really, really good solid team to keep on pushing it. If that does not come in, your products are good as dead.
But if you do have that kind of financing and that kind of manpower team, right, to put back into Wootfood, what would be the question of monetizing? How do you monetize it?
Okay, so for us, in 6 months after we started building Wootfood app, Food Spotting launched.
Right.
And that was like 1.5 years after our idea was out, and we preached and stuff. So you can see there's a very big gap. Why it's the same idea? In fact, I think ours is better, but obviously, but at the time.
But it was business validation that it could work, and it worked. But the only one thing that we lack over here are two things: VCs. Right.
Who dare to VCs but don't dare to. They want proven everything.
Right.
How
they're very safe.
And sometimes I don't blame them. Because there's no exit plan over here. You can't cash out on the company. You can't sell a company to someone easily. It doesn't work that way over here. It works to a certain extent, but not the whole time.
Like how Silicon Valley's whole...
So that whole ecosystem actually funds the whole thing and moves so much forward. I mean, people are paid well there, people are getting acquired, and it keeps on moving. That forefront keep on moving because that money keep on flowing in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And whereas over here, some of the people that we spoke to, they want the proven stuff.
The one that we are very safe.
Yeah.
We're not the type of risk takers.
I see a point where they are at right now because they know they can't exit.
Yes.
They can't exit. But I think things are slowly changing already.
Good, okay.
People like Carlos got acquired by Catcher. Whether it was a bad deal or not, that's one thing to find out. And a lot of this, slowly things are getting acquired. I mean, but not tech companies yet.
Sure.
Not tech companies. And to answer your question, if we had the cash, if we had the resources, how would we monetize it? There are tons of ways to actually monetize it. But it's to get that big initial, I wouldn't say big, substantial enough to bring good value and to sell it on later. One of the ideas we had was to actually sell packs, which then I found out I think about over a week ago, someone is actually doing it already. Selling rank food pack, Colin food pack, based on 99 cents, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That is good information. That is really, really good information. And people would actually pay for this because it's something that where community knowledge is actually funneled into it. But to get to that point of wealth of information is like one whole year worth of pushing it through marketing, biz dev, and making sure that you have that whole direction.
Yeah.
So not only in terms of cash, but I think also is in terms of product management as well, product knowledge, and how do we do all this.
Yeah.
None of us is taught in school.
Yeah. Or throw in the water, swim.
Or throw in the water, then figure out how to swim, then figure out how not to die while drowning.
Yeah, but I feel that financing definitely would help.
In terms of sustainability, I think if we at the time knew the right people, and had more money to actually maybe travel or find a way to expand the team or the focus, the outcome would have been quite different. Compared to today, I think the ecosystem has matured quite a bit over here. There are quite a number of funds, startup funds, angels out there, who are more who would probably be more open to investing in early stage startups. So maybe it was a matter of timing. We will probably never know. But in terms of monetization, we had options. Also, I think one of the options was because this tool was not just about Malaysia. It's about finding good food wherever you
could scale at worldwide.
And you actually have food content from South Korea, from Pakistan, and when we monitor our database, it's actually quite fascinating. San Fran. And one of the key value propositions for Wootfood was that you could, when you're traveling about, you could download this overseas content to your phone, so you don't have to pay exorbitant roaming charges overseas for a small fee. So maybe for 99 cents, you could have offline data for Bangkok, for example.
You get all this private information that is relative to that country that you're in.
Exactly.
You don't have to just stop someone on the street and ask, which is completely impossible.
Exactly. So there were so many ways to monetize it, but to stand on this point on timing, I think we were just too early into it. Burple came in probably about a year ago, and they're actually doing quite well in Singapore, and that was in the time when iPhone 4S was launched. There's the big momentum of people using, of people getting used to doing certain things, certain tasks on the phone on a very, very small screen. The acceptance is there. We started off probably a little bit too early, but we started off early, but at the same time it led us to another pot of gold, which was doing mobile development.
Client work,
And to client work, and by far I think I don't know about this too, but I think personally, I've been amazed with some of the work that we've done, and the opportunities that we get to work with. Work with two car manufacturers.
We have pretty, to sum it up, because of NDA, so we can't say.
Yeah.
But to sum it up, we've worked with a lot of big brands, and we've kept it that way. And the cool thing is that we are not like, we've what, done 20 over apps already? We hit 20 over?
No, I think it's probably about past mid-20s.
So it's like almost 30 lah, I guess. And these apps are all like good apps, not like feng shui 2.0.
Yeah, because,
you know, that kind of thing.
because of the experience that we've gotten with Wootfood, that you're able to scale that kind of creativity.
During that time, the tech, I think the features that we had in Wootfood was pretty impressive, like, I guess, that during that time. So I think that actually, you know, actions speak louder than words, right? You straight away show, wow, can do, straight away people like, wow, you know, can pull Google Maps and stuff. So I think that was kind of proof that we could do it, like we could deliver a good job. And so far we've been working with you know, agencies and stuff, and we've shown them, they usually like let us do a small project first, and then they realize that we deliver good jobs, and it has been like that since then. So we've been doing quite a number of client work. We recently been pitching quite big accounts, and yeah, we hope. We're still waiting. So but yeah, it's been good lah. It's been good. So it's like a lot of referrals lah. I think that's a lot, right? A lot of people refer to us. We got quite a number of inquiries from Hello as well. But it has definitely not been smooth going lah. I think finance has always been a major problem, because you know, when it's a vicious cycle, it's the chicken and egg thing, where we can't build our team, and therefore we can't do so much work. So we are very lean actually. So it's like, you know, playing with that, and for I think this year especially, we actually took the decision to like just whack lah. So but our team is still small. It's still less than within 10, and we kind of want to keep it that way lah. You know, so we have a lot of training and stuff, like train our staff and everything, and yeah. So we are hoping now that we kind of took the leap. So yeah, now it's just getting the jobs lah, which I think this year it's been pretty good lah. Yeah, so hopefully that goes well.
So that's when Alphapod pivot from an app developing organization to a app development agency. Can I say that? Is it safe to say that, or is the spirit of developing apps still there, still strong?
I wouldn't say developing app, but I would say that our passion is still, we still love to build stuff. Be it tech, be it creative, but we still love to build stuff, and we still want to perfect that. And we realize that we can offer that as a very, very good value to some people. Some people who knows how to see it and how to appreciate it. And we've been very fortunate enough to actually be meeting them.
When you say agency, sorry, just to clarify, right? When you say app agency, meaning doing third. Okay, and then app development meaning our own apps, right? Okay, so when we first started, so how Alphapod came about was short because of MDAC. We had to incorporate a company. Ta-da! So after that, actually our dream is to build our own apps. Always to build our own ideas and stuff. And so we actually started, the first time we kind of branded ourselves as, we had incubator in our card. And then, but we felt that, you know, whatever it is, incubator or not, you still need funding. And I think that is the gap that we have. We all don't come from rich families, all working class, and you know, and I feel that, we have the team here. That is something that we've brought to the table before. So people come with ideas, we come three perspectives, and we tell them can be done, cannot be done, that kind of thing. But the gap is bringing the funding, which we don't have. We don't know the right people. You know, we know the standard ones, but to actually get it, it's a long process, and usually that scares people. You know, so basically, then after we realized that that's not really a strong thing that we can hold. Yes, we can give knowledge, but everything boils down to money, I guess. Yeah. So then we kind of pull the brakes, but not like spreading and telling everyone that we are incubators and stuff like that. But we did it another way, which is, I think currently what happened is, so we have one of our spin-offs, which is Take Out Arcade, which does games. Which we launched the first game, actually 2 games we launched. The first game wasn't too marketed, that was like kind of try and error.
That's right.
Yeah, but that's good casual games, you know.
Right.
So basically what happened is he actually joined us as a creative director. So he joined us, and then after a few months working with him, I think almost 1 year, we realized that he has a very strong passion for games and stuff. And then we changed how things worked out. Was like, okay, we work and then we brainstorm and stuff, and we realized that he actually has a passion to actually head the games development. So, and that's how Take Out Arcade came about. So he's actually spearheading Take Out Arcade. Yeah, and that's our first baby, I guess. Yeah, kind of.
Alright, we're running out of time, but we definitely will come back to revisit Food Ninja as well as
Food Ninja.
Sorry.
Ninja Joe, you mean? And Take Out Arcade.
And Take Out Arcade, that's right. But before we end, 2 last questions. One question would be, when your kids grow up and they want to be entrepreneurs, what would be the top 3 things you would share with with your kids?
Hard work. Hard work, a lot of perseverance, a lot of it. Yeah, I think they need to know that it's hard work. I think that is because even when we started Ninja Joe, I was doing fine, Alphapod doing fine. A lot of our friends, quite a number of them, actually came to us and say, oh, you know, well, then they got excited and stuff like that. You know, we're happy to inspire people. Especially like Malaysians, no. Like we have good people in Malaysia. It's just that unfortunately it's just not coming out. I don't know why, but one thing that I mean, we are happy to inspire, but one thing that we need to put out is that it's no fun, not totally
it's not easy
fun.
task,
it's very tough to build a
business.
It takes a lot of work. You have to accept to sacrifice everything. Not only that, you got to make sure if you have any spouses, partners, whatever, family members, people who you care about, you got to make sure that they understand. I think that's very important, because yeah, you accept, but they might not accept, and they'll say, you know, and that will bring you down. So I think that is something that you know, people, not only our kids, but people will have to know. My kids definitely will know, okay, because I'm going to make sure they know the drama we had of building business.
Drill them early.
Yes. Yeah, but one thing I want to share is, hard work, you have to really, you know, fight, and you have to sacrifice. Yeah, that's one main thing.
I add to that perseverance. You know, success isn't always, it's not overnight. A lot of overnight successes. I'm sure you've read about it.
Yes.
It's not. You know, your success is evident after many months or years of toiling. And I think maybe the young people or younger generation today might not realize that. They always want to see, like, they want a shortcut to success.
Instant gratification. We're also used to that.
Yeah, it's no such thing. I think entrepreneurship is a journey.
It's a marathon.
Yeah, but the most important thing is you have to be passionate about it. It's not it's not about. I mean, yes, entrepreneurship is about building businesses, and businesses it's about making a profit, right? But you cannot always be just motivated about money. It's got to be what you do. You got to be passionate about it. If you want money, go get a job, right? Go work and climb up the corporate ladder. You'll be comfortable. But if it's something that you feel really passionate about, and there's a commercial aspect to that, then yeah, then there's a possibility. I'm not saying that that's
You
the
would,
route
yeah.
that you would that entrepreneurship is a path that you would take up. So you've got to have a few things in place already. You've got to have the passion. You've got to have a business angle to it. You've got to have to be able to persevere and sacrifice. And I guess if all this come together and all this is it's if anyone's up for it, then yes, I'd strongly encourage it.
Yeah, strongly.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff that you learn along the way. You deal with people, you deal with subject matter that you never learn in school. You learn how to learn things on your own, and not to depend on other people or even for money.
Fall down, you get up again.
Yeah.
You lick your wounds yourself, not even expecting people to help. You've got to just suck it up and move on.
It's thankless until you hit success. Yeah, even if we bring it back to Alphapod, it's right doing client work right now. It's a means to an end. I think we won't always be doing this because
it's a phase of the history of the business of Alphapod.
Correct. It pays the bills, and as leaders of the company, we are responsible for our employees, about maintaining the team, about their building their careers, and we can't just pursue our dreams and expect everyone to follow. So we have to find a way that will pay a bill, that will sustain the company until we reach a point
while trying to meet everyone's dreams and I think that is one thing different about Alphapod, because we all came from company and we know, we've been employees before, so we are hoping that we could in a way also contribute back to our community or to the Malaysian ecosystem or whatever, by building good apps and Malaysian made apps and getting it out, I don't know how that works, but it's a far dream, but I think it's capable of reaching there, because we are not developing like crappy apps, it's like good apps, and and Malaysia have to be known for that. So anything?
Two advice that I give my kids would be inquisitive. Because once you're inquisitive enough, you tend to not stop.
Yeah, you're always hungry.
You're always hungry, and being as a human being, that is the core fundamental. Ever since caveman, inquisitive enough to go on and on and on, and so we are as well. We explore the tech frontier. We keep on moving, because progress is always an overreach of what you can do. That is progress. And the moment that you don't have inquisitiveness, you're screwed. Big time, you're screwed. All three of us are inquisitive. In our
different
field,
aspects.
in different aspects. And all three of us are there. And I think with that comes passion as well. Passion is very, very important, to know what you can do, to know what is it you're passionate about, and to chase after that one. That is one thing that will constantly drive you, irregardless of where. And the last thing I think I'll tell my kids if they wanted to start up is people. Surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself with be co-founders, be your friends, be your network, be anyone. But surround yourself with good people that shares the same vision, that are on the same rails with you. But at the same time as well, you surround yourself with good people. You need to surround yourself with another mindset of people as well, because that helps you understand why it's so important to think a certain way, the cognitive thinking of why do we need to do it this way, and then keep on questioning yourself and how to move on. I don't know,
looking for good partners, that's very important.
Yeah,
I heard of a lot of fallouts because
looking for good partners, understanding, and it's not people, it's people. Even when we hire guys as well, developers and all, we make sure that they're good people. We make sure that their core is as similar as us, aligned to us. We will look back and say like, that was me 5 years ago. That was me how long ago. We always see something in someone, in all our guys that we have, all our guys that we have, we always see something in them that we can connect to, and that is important. And that is very, very important. Some people say that they can't find Objective-C developers, can't find iPhone developers, cannot find. That's true to a certain extent. But what sometimes I don't see is, why don't you create the pool?
Why don't you do it? Yeah.
Why don't you create? Rather than just, from the business perspective, it's I totally understand. I need these certain resources, I need to find it.
Yeah, need it now.
I need it now. But on the long run, that is going to drive demand up very high. What are you doing back in terms for the entire society to actually train them, to actually foster them? I mean, coming out of companies is like the biggest philanthropist. You build jobs, you make jobs, you make knowledge, you increase the wealth of, not monetarily, but you increase the wealth of knowledge and society as well. 5 years ago, if you asked me whether I was doing iPhone apps, I really say, nah, that wouldn't happen at all. But look where we are today. We have a team of 10. Not everyone joined. No one joins the company knowing how to develop iPhone apps. But when they leave with an app that's been at least submitted to the App Store and approved.
We do that with the interns.
We do that with interns. Within 3 months, you join. By the end of second month, you submit.
Have an app out.
You submit to the App Store.
And they get excited.
Yeah, obviously.
So cool.
Yeah.
It's like, presentation. Please go to the App Store now and look for.
Exactly. So that is very, very, very
that's one
important.
culture that we are holding on to.
Yeah, and it's been a working formula for us. But it's not easy getting to this stage. It's not easy. It's perseverance.
Yeah.
Coming here all the way.
It's also balancing like your priorities. So for me, burning money, train people, right? But it's a balance lah. So that's why I think we have a great team here.
So now she's not behind. She's behind our backs for another reason right now, but she's not behind our backs for burning money anymore, because now there's a return of it. You can see the ROI coming in. The people are well trained. It's coming in, and it's.
So I think the partnership, that's one thing. People need to know. Partnership is very important. If you're going into partnership, you have to find the right people. 3 of us, we are very different. Can you imagine? We do fight. I mean, as in the positive debate. But we always sort things out, and I think so far the lowest time is the time where the worst.
The worst
out,
of us.
But we've been there probably a few times, and
it's never easy. It's up and downs. Each of us will see different things, and we want different things. And there's personal momentum as well that will push you to want different things as well. But it's understanding on your side. It boils back down to the first point. It's people. Surround yourself with good people. Selflessness, respect them, and you will earn it back.
Respect and trust.
And you will earn it back. And that's been working so far for us.
Okay. Last final question. Alphapod.
Your camera is dead, you know.
Okay, that's alright.
I think for quite some time already.
Ran out of bat. But we have audio as well, right? So so the last question would be, where do you think Alphapod is right now? 0 or hero?
I think we're not there yet. We're still in the phase that we're not at a place that we can say that, okay, yes, we've made it. But we've seen small successes along the way, and I think that is reassuring us that it's going in the right direction. Actually, going back to again, full circle. Why Alphapod? Alphapod is a lousy name for an app development company. But Alphapod is a great name for
3 of us.
An incubator.
Yes.
I think when we set out, the long-term goal is always to be at one day say that, okay, let's build people's ideas. So people come to us with great ideas, or maybe they don't know how to execute it, they're not programmers. But we have the wealth of experience, we have the resources available. Might not necessarily have the money, but at least the tech know-how, how to turn these dreams into reality. And Take On Arcade is probably one of our first attempts at doing that. So, in short, to answer your question, we're not there yet, but maybe, who knows, a year from now, we might be standing in the same room or somewhere else and saying, telling a very different story, and saying, look, in retrospect back to today. We've been very fortunate to come this far and still be so strong.
Bootstrapping is not easy.
Yeah.
And we are still bootstrapping, by the way, and yeah, it's not easy. So far we haven't taken any loans, so that's like...
That's good.
Yes, that's fascinating actually. Yeah, but it's not been an easy way lah, definitely. I mean, we're not that old, I think, yet. You know, so obviously our savings not like fat or what, right? Yeah, but we've been surviving so far, and things have been getting on great lah. So we hope that this mobile thing will definitely pick up a lot more now, because it's quite a slow growth line.
We actually expected the huge wave from everyone to jump to mobile last year. But it didn't happen.
Yeah.
We're seeing some small waves happening this year, especially the big brands and the agencies that service them. And we're fortunate to be at a position where we're well equipped already. I think Clayton, because a lot of the stuff we do, most of the time, it's not just about building an app. It's about the stuff that happens outside as well.
Yeah.
So when you hit the submit button, what happens? I think Clayton's background in developing backend systems really benefited it. And I can say for sure there are not many app developers or competitors out there have expertise in this area. Yes, they can build an app, but whether it performs well is optimization. A lot of stuff happens outside the app that's basically invisible to the user.
Which is very important in determining the success of whether people will use your app.
How snappy the response is and stuff. Depends on the servers and backend, the CDNs and stuff like that. So we're coming from a very well-rounded angle. We cover the bases really well. That's something I won't be humble about.
Okay. Right. Thank you very much for a great talk, and I think you guys want take home the cake for being the longest podcast.
Oh no!
But it's all good. It's all good. I ran out of battery.
I thought you were gonna edit, no?
No, there's no edits.
You're
no,
me.
not kidding. The reason why there's no edits is because let's face it. A lot of people come to me and say they want a shorter version, And I ask them one very simple question: if you get a chance to sit down with founders, how much time do you want to spend with this founder? A day or half an hour? Right? And the stories that you hear, they should not be edited at all, because that is the story that is delivered. So yeah, it's been a great talk, but we'll definitely come back for the 2 other discussions for the next few shows. Right? Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Hi, I'm Patrick and welcome to Green Room 136. Now before we get right into business and pitch you our project, let's look into a little intro. Now Green Room 136 was formed in June 2011, and we're a small independent workshop for bags. We are in the business of building urban bags for the urban professional of this new millennium. The urban professional that needs to be moving around, needs to be working out their bag from coffee shop to coffee shop, from country to country, from place to place. And we have a ton more of other related products. Okay, so we want to pitch you a new backpack for kids. I'm a father of 2 and I have a 5-year-old which I've been spending quite a fair bit of time searching for a backpack for her day use, for her school use, and so on and so forth. So being a bag maker, I've been scouring the market, combing every single corner, looking for a bag that would fit, that would be cool enough for her to carry, and particularly rather critical. So I've not been able to find one. Well, there are a few independent ones, but I think the market, I think you will agree, the market is filled with very poor quality products. Some bags will even break down and the moment you use them. Now granted the fact that these are all sub 100 ringgit products, so you can't expect too much of, you can't expect it to be, the product of kids' backpack. So I've taken up the challenge to build a backpack, and the ankle biter was born. Primarily, the bag is built super tough with the use of Cordura nylon. Now these are 1000 denier nylon fabrics and are the same stuff we use to make our other bags. They are water repellent, they are tab proof, and they are vibrant in colors. We expect these bags to hold up to any challenge your kid throws at it. We use YKK zip enclosures so that it won't break down, and the unskilled hand of an underage zip operator that is any child. So after making one, I tested it on my child, and this is what she had to say. Okay, ready? You like your bag? Huh? It's your bag, there's nothing inside. Daddy made this bag for you. Do you like this bag?
Yeah. I'm gonna keep on inside.
Yeah, put it inside. Okay, what do you like about the bag? What do you like about the bag?
Colors.
See, and then you have two big pockets here. You can put your water bottle, and another pocket here. You can put another water bottle.
Oh.
And then in front here there is a pocket here. You can put your
Sweets.
and your stickers. Like the colors?
Yes. Dark pink, red, pink, black, purple, black.
Is that happy?
Yes. You want to see?
I want to see. Put on your back.
See, it's my
Okay.
size. Pink and red and black.
You like this color?
And also blue.
Okay. Wow! Turn around. Wow! So here's what you can expect to pack into the bag. The bag consists of two side pockets, one front pocket, and one main compartment. Now kids will be kids, they will run, they will play in the rain and get all sweaty real quick. So here's Daddy's t-shirt, and because it's really big, right? And you basically do not need to wear pants. So it's super simple. So here's a workbook. Now, Daddy always say that if you have mastered math, you basically master the language of the universe. So Daddy failed math back in the day, so you will have to do better, and or Daddy will be very, very disappointed. Here's your pencil case. Ooh, Batman comics. Don't tell mommy. Kids get hungry pretty quick, and nothing beats a giant bag of Cheezels. That a bag of Cheezels contains calcium and vitamins equivalent to a glass of milk, right? Now, okay. Now you kids are always running around, and that's fine. It's good exercise, and it beats playing Xbox at home. So here's a can of Red Bull. You need the energy, and it's liquid. So kills two birds with one stone. Instant energy and lots of liquid. And when you're done playing, what better way to calm down those nerves than to have a big can of. Now get out there and have a blast. So here we are asking your help to make this project a reality. Now here's the reason why. Now number one, with the money, we'll be able to buy materials, which will be crucial, and we have to buy a lot of these materials in advance, and to make all these bags. No, we already have that. Okay. Now, the money we're going to be using, the money we're going to get, we're going to use to buy equipment and to hire a group of skilled workmen to build more of these bags. Now, we already have that too. Okay, all right. With the money we're getting, we're going to buy 5,000 bicycles so that we can go riding. Okay, so here's the reason why we're pitching this project to you. Now, it is because we are unsure if the market is open to the idea, the concept of a high quality backpack for kids. For kids, right? So, now, but then again, granted that these bags are built really tough. They're water repellent, so the kids can go out playing, out in the rain and stuff like that. They can jump into ponds and puddles, and that stuff will just not get wet. Water will just roll right out of it. Then these are tab-proof products. You can expect them. I mean, kids are rough, and these are bags that you can literally pass on from one generation to another generation without having to worry about wear and tear. Then the colors of these products are just amazing, right? And I'm sure your kids will be excited to carry them to school. They will be so happy to carry them out on their outings and stuff like that. And yeah, so if we're able to succeed in this project, I think what we will achieve basically is to hit the ground running, to be building the very first batch of bags for pitch-in pledges. And I think ultimately we also want to be able to identify, what is the we'll be able to get validity of the viability of this product. I think that's the objective of why we are pitching this product. So that concludes our pitching video. I hope you are convinced that this is a product that needs to be built, needs to be made, and I'm sure the kids will be very happy to have them. So yeah, give us your full support. Let us know if you like what you see, and we hope you'll join us to make this pitch a success.